Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Things are heating up in the NFL and the Bills are right in the middle of it. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade that could significantly alter the landscape of the AFC East and, more importantly, give Buffalo a serious boost heading into the playoffs and beyond. The buzz is about the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that's been in a bit of a rebuild, especially on their cap space and roster priorities, and they're reportedly open to trading away one of their promising young wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr., in exchange for some draft capital that could help them reset and rebuild more efficiently. Let's break down what's going on here. The Jaguars, sitting at 4-11, are actively looking to gain draft picks to focus on their rebuild, especially with cap space around $7 million. According to insiders, they're eyeing a deal that would send Brian Thomas Jr., a dynamic and explosive receiver, to the Bills in exchange for a second and third-round pick. That's a pretty bold move for a team that's clearly prioritizing the future, but it also speaks volumes about Thomas's potential and the perceived value he could bring, not just to the Jaguars, but especially to the Bills. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. is a player worth watching. He's a young, talented receiver who's shown flashes of brilliance, and his stats reflect that. In 2024, he's already accumulated around 200 receiving yards and scored 8 touchdowns. His average yards per catch sit comfortably at 14.5, and he's been graded quite favorably with a PFF grade around 80.0. That's indicative of a player who's making a real impact when given the ball. His 2025 stats are impressive too, with over 600 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he's averaging 15.1 yards per reception with roughly 41 catches and 60 targets. He's also been reliable without major injuries and boasts a contested catch rate of about 8.5%, meaning he's not afraid to go up and get the ball in tight coverage. From a team-building perspective, the Jaguars are facing some real challenges. They're sitting on roughly $7 million in cap space, and their defense has been giving up around 25 points per game. They need help on the defensive line and secondary, areas that are critical to turning around their season. Trading away a promising receiver like Thomas could free up nearly $14 million in cap space, giving them more flexibility for free agency and draft picks. But there's skepticism about trading a young, explosive weapon when the team's aerial attack is already struggling, losing about 150 passing yards per game. This move seems to be driven more by cap management and draft strategy than immediate on-field needs, which makes it a bold gamble. For the Bills, this potential acquisition could be a game-changer. Currently sitting at 11-4, Buffalo has been searching for that explosive receiver who can stretch the field and add a new dimension to their offense. Their passing game has been productive, with over 460 passing yards, but they're missing that game-breaking element that can turn a short gain into a long, game-changing play. Brian Thomas Jr. could fill that role perfectly. His ability to turn short catches into big chunks of yardage, combined with his speed and contested catch ability, make him a perfect fit for the Bills' offense, especially working alongside Stefon Diggs and Gabe Davis. The numbers tell the story. If Thomas joins Buffalo, he's projected to add around 800 yards to the Bills' receiving total, an increase of roughly 16% in yards after catch efficiency. His average yards per route run is expected to jump from the current 1.6 to over 2.2, which is a significant upgrade for a team that's already potent but could be even more explosive. His EPA, expected points added, per target could rise by about 12%, making him a true X-factor in the Bills' offensive arsenal. Playing under Josh Allen, who's been fantastic this season, Thomas's contribution could push the Bills further into elite territory, especially as they aim for that coveted Super Bowl spot. Talking about the bigger picture, this move could elevate the Bills from a solid playoff team to a true Super Bowl contender. Their odds to win Super Bowl LX are currently around +600, but if they land Thomas, those odds could improve dramatically, possibly dropping to plus 300. That's a huge shift for a team that's already been considered among the top contenders. The addition of a dynamic, long-threat receiver like Thomas could give Buffalo that extra spark they need to push through tough defenses and close out games in the playoffs. His ability to get open deep and make contested catches could be the difference in tight postseason battles, especially when defenses tighten up and force teams to rely on big plays. Now, let's talk about the implications for the Jaguars. They're clearly prioritizing their future with draft picks rather than immediate wins, and that's a smart strategy for a team that's rebuilding. Moving Thomas makes sense from their perspective, especially if they believe they can replace his production in the draft or through other roster moves. But for Buffalo, this could be the addition that turns a good team into a great one. It's about making that playoff push even more dangerous, especially with an eye on making a deep run, possibly even reaching the Super Bowl. And of course, this kind of move isn't just about adding yards. It's about adding versatility, speed, and that deep threat that defenses have to respect. Imagine Josh Allen lining up with Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and Brian Thomas all on the same field. Defenses would be hard-pressed to cover them all. That kind of firepower could lead to an increase in touchdowns, big plays, and overall offensive efficiency. It's also about keeping defenses honest, opening up more opportunities for the run game and other receivers, and creating mismatches that the Bills can exploit throughout the game. For the Bills fans out there, this is an exciting prospect. We've seen Allen's arm and his ability to connect with multiple receivers, but adding a player like Thomas could elevate the entire offense to a new level. The potential for big plays, especially in clutch moments, makes this a move that could define their playoff run. And with the way the AFC is shaping up, with teams like Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Baltimore competing for supremacy, Buffalo needs to maximize every opportunity to stay ahead. Of course, nothing is set in stone yet. The trade rumors are just that, rumors, but the signs point to something brewing. If the Bills pull this off, it could be a defining moment of the offseason, a move that signals their intent to not just compete but dominate. It's about taking risks, making bold moves, and building a roster that can sustain success deep into the postseason. So, Bills fans, keep your eyes peeled. This story isn't over yet, and if it develops into reality, we're looking at a game changer. The addition of Brian Thomas Jr. to the Bills, roster could be exactly what they need to push them over the top and make that push for Super Bowl glory. It's a player with big upside, a proven track record, and the kind of explosiveness that can turn good teams into legends. The Bills are always about winning now, and this move could be the next step in that journey. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. To sum it all up, what we're potentially looking at here is a seismic shift for the Bills' offense. The addition of Brian Thomas Jr. could turn them into a true long ball threat, one that defenses will have to respect and prepare for. It's the kind of move that can elevate the team's ceiling, especially as they aim to make a serious playoff run and challenge for the Super Bowl. The AFC is stacked, no doubt about it, but with this kind of weapon in their arsenal, Buffalo could be poised to make a statement not just in the regular season but deep into January and beyond. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Brian Thomas Jr. is the missing piece for a Super Bowl push? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in the Bills uniform? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Buffalo Bills news. Let's keep the passion alive and continue supporting our team through thick and thin. Go Bills!